Welcome to Hot Tag Reviews. That's right. This isn't a joke. This isn't a gimmick. We're here. We're in the same room together, and we brought someone else. That's a clap for the microphone thing to sync up. That's all we've been doing for 45 minutes. The pre-show to this show was sponsored by Technical Difficulties. Hopefully, we've eradicated, that's the word, right? I'm not pretending to be clever. But anyway, hopefully the problems are sorted. We're here. It's episode 4. Before we go into the intro and talk about the show, who are we? I'm Rob Campbell. This is...
Mark Holland.
Yeah! Look, it's still shit in person. So, what hope have we got?
What you thought that delay was like just the Zoom app? That's just what the delay is in real life.
And joining us on this week's episode, and who knows, maybe for more to come, Mr. Daniel Cornfield.
Hello, long time listener, first time listener. Fuck!
That's a great start. He's really nervous, as you can
Nervous,
see.
excited, slightly hard. You know, usual gimmicks.
Sounds about
Hard
right.
for the show. Hard for the show.
So fuck it. Let's get going with episode 4, the WWF Royal Rumble 2000. Hit that intro gimmick. Big Brother the Undertaker! China's got bandana and shades on. You, Richard Branson, and your private island.
It's a bit ambitious.
We're having all technical difficulties tonight, and I love it. This episode sponsored by Technical Difficulties. Them calling him DJ get 0 stars as well.
I think he does a good job, to be fair.
Rock looks a bit shit here,
Bob
doesn't
Met's hardcore, Ali, and he's a fucking beast.
You're alright, you're doing a good job. Bodacious Bart, Bombastic Bob. My internet connection is unstable. Brett's fucked off down south now. Can I do the ruse gimmick?
Do you know what I mean? That's how you take a buckle, and that's what you've
He pulled the ruse this
But
time.
it's better than the last match.
Are we having technical
When Robots
difficulties
is
again? Oh no! Again! Oh.
Well, about Jack the Snake Roberts was just sitting there, just thinking, fuck.
Here we are to talk about the World Wrestling Federation Royal Rumble from the year 2000. Where is it? New York City. Which arena? The world's most famous. It's Madison Square Garden, baby.
Yeah.
The promo package, if you like, is all about Triple H and Cactus Jack. It's a very intense video package. There's loads of words being thrown backwards and forwards. What did you make of it?
I'm going to have to, yeah.
You know where I'm like with Mick Foley. I'm such a mark for that guy. It's unreal.
Yeah.
But I know that he flipped it out in '97 with Triple H. When he had Mankind on the stage, he was on Titantron, and then Dude Love come in, and it was like, oh, we're not good enough, we can't do this. I think it was a street fight or a location match, and then Cactus Jack appeared. For them to relive that again 3 years later, obviously in the promo for that, the build up to this, Mankind's not good enough, and then Cactus Jack. But I don't know if the second pop was even better when he was, when he revealed that on SmackDown, and he tore the white shirt off. Triple H sold it like he'd just seen like an absolute ghost, and, and that was obviously the build up to this. But I'm such a mark for Mick Foley. I've got nothing bad to say about him at all.
It's literally the only reason I think we're doing this one, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's the only reason that we've done the last 2. The King of the Ring and this is purely because they have really good Mick Foley matches, because the WCW one are rating him 0 stars.
Yeah. Sorry, Mick.
What did you make of this?
I love the promo. Like, for me, that show going into it was all about this match.
Yeah.
And looking back like 20 years from then, the match, holy shit. That's all I can say about this promo. I love the intensity. Mick Foley, who's arguably one of the most well-known deathmatch wrestlers of his era. I love the fact they showed all the footage from the King of the Deathmatch tournament as well. Like, just to explain how dangerous this man is. Like, as a kid, you watch it and go, whoa, what the fuck is this? So you're like, this match is going to be awesome, and I'm pumped already.
Yeah. But we'll start at the beginning and work our way towards in match order before we all get a bit of an erect penis. First of all, that video, the one thing that stood out for me was the 1-800 collect. They sponsored it, so just saying it wasn't sponsored by Snickers this time, right? 1-800 collect.
You like a good sponsorship gimmick though,
But
don't you?
yeah, they had plugging them on Superstar line anymore, are they?
No.
You know, Vince isn't on commentary going, Mark Merrow is on the Superstar line. no, Vince is not. No one is.
No.
Stan Lane's not there, is he?
No.
And Medusa. Or Alundra Blaze, as she was called in WWF. But fuck that 1-800 Collect presents the event. We get a shitload of fireworks, as per usual. Standard Attitude Era gimmicks. We get loads of signage. New York crowd are hot. And then we're introduced to the event by the greatest commentary team the world has ever seen, in my opinion. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler, who waste no time plugging that street fight, as they should.
Yeah.
But then the music hits. Dun, 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 na, na, and I'm listening, and I'm like, they ain't saying it. They ain't saying it. He's only been in the company 6 months. If less than that, actually. It was November at Survivor Series. So I'm in my head going, you suck, and we all know what we're talking about. But just in case you don't, it's Kurt Angle. He's making his way to the ring. How weird was this?
Again, hindsight with this though, isn't it? It's like, it doesn't matter what time period after maybe a year of him being in the company, you heard that music, the crowd instantly on it.
Yeah.
You suck. Like, it's, very delicately with the dark fruit gimmick.
I'll get fucking killed if I destroy this pink laptop. Real men wear pink.
Yeah.
They also carry pink laptops, apparently.
I love it, trying to make out Andy's laptop. I'm just carrying it for a friend.
Yeah, Carol Baskin will be collecting tomorrow.
For a good friend, Saville.
Seville.
Anyway, so Kurt Angle's music hits. They haven't started the use of chant as we just spoke about. Howard Finkel is the ring announcer. Unfortunately, we lost Howard on April 16th, 2020 this year at the age of 69. And I think right there and then we just need to pour one out for him, so to speak. So, Howard.
We like so.
Yeah.
Here's to you.
The greatest ring announcer of all time. Fair to say? Don't even. I know where your mind went then.
No, but in all seriousness, he is.
Yeah.
Like, so iconic, the voice, everything
I was
about
watching the day of the Backlash on the network.
Oh, I cried.
Yeah.
Not even going to lie.
And he said like how important it was to put him in that Madison Square Garden hall because you remember him when he first won his first title, and it was that voice that he'd always remember when he won that first title. I knew.
He made the Superstars, so to speak. Greatest ring announcer in history. So Jim Corderas is the official, the referee. It's a good promo to hype up the New York crowd. They get on him very, very quickly.
Has Kurt Angle ever had a bad promo?
Oh, that's a great question.
In WWE?
That's a great question.
I know everybody else, I mean, look...
So have you sat there and watched every Raw and SmackDown in 20 years to go...
I'm going to say he's all up here, it's just like literally like...
I mean, like, in terms of like bad runs, everybody can have a bad promo, I mean...
everyone.
But, I mean, in terms of like spots in like a couple of weeks or a couple of months where he won't quite get any, I don't think he's ever had a bad...
There was never a stretch. The charisma was there though, wasn't it? Like, you can't teach that. And it just shows in this pay-per-view, in this promo. I remember sitting there thinking, this is like Kurt Angle, this is like what I remember, this is like Heat, this is, this is how you get the crowd riled in the first match.
For his worst promo run, it's when he was GM of Raw recently.
Yeah.
Because he's so scripted.
Yeah. You can tell the difference kind of between this era and now. It's like you've got to say it word for word, you've got to get
so much creativity here, isn't there?
Yeah.
Compared to then.
Yeah. It makes you think though, it's like if you have that much confidence in your product and you know you've got these sort of performers like a Rock, like an Austin, like an Angle, who go, here's a camera, 2 minutes, sell something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They'll do it every day of the week and no questions asked.
Mm-hmm. So he cuts a great promo, he winds the crowd up massively, and the crowd do sneak in a few "We Want Taz" shouts.
Yeah.
Obviously the big surprise, it's a mystery opponent. The music hits, the crowd erupt, and I mean erupt. Like, this is one of the loudest pops of the night, really, isn't it? And King, he's been a bit of a cunt. Like, he's going, I feel he's going, JR. You hear him a few times. And JR's just silent because he's listening and he's waiting for that announcement. And I almost feel like JR's going, shut up, you cunt. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just fucking give him a rest. Yeah. Let him announce. Do you know, I'll put him over in a minute. And he does. Yeah. Because Howard Finkel announces him. The crowd are obviously popping like nobody's business. And then he gets in the ring and then it's just JR's famous tagline that's on Botchamania and so on and so forth. It's Taz! He's gonna be Taz!
Oh,
so Taz, talk to me about Taz.
Coming from a fucking fire run in ECW, he won every title there. He bored, so he made a title to give himself a chance at the world title. That was the worst kept secret in that building that night, though. Like, the second there was like, right, we're doing it in New York, it's Kurt Angle. Secret opponent, we want Taz. And it was like, holy shit, like,
I think they probably learned from that, didn't they? Like, the next time they brought in like a new person or a big return, you can see on the network and stuff how they like, they put all the covers over on the neck and zip up and everything. Not even like, they don't let anybody else
in
on.
a coach,
Yeah.
I just want
sorry.
It's like they might as well have just gone, Taz will be here. Like, just give me the promo of like, Taz is coming and his debut is this. Like, but that pop though, holy shit.
Especially with the build-up where you got like during the like segments in Raw and SmackDown where the 13 would just pop up, wouldn't it? And just go away. What's going on here?
I mean, it's brilliant. I thought I was watching Countdown at one point more than beats. Like, I got really confused.
Richard White.
Where's the Jericho one?
Well, and they're straight into it. They are at it. They end up on the outside and Kurt Angle delivers a suplex.
Don't forget, Kurt Angle's undefeated this time.
He is, it's true. He's used his 3 eyes. He's remained undefeated for 3 months nearly, because this is going to be the end of January, really, isn't it? So, you know, fuck it, I didn't get the date, who cares? So we get ECW chants, suplex on the entrance of the state, Angle's back in control. There was a really nice belly-to-belly that Taz delivered from the middle rope. I enjoyed for me, the best way to describe this match in 2 words, 1 sentence, is a suplex masterclass.
Yeah. This is a bit of a dream match though, like on paper, when you think of both of them with amateur wrestling, both of them coming in at this point as well. I mean, the athleticism in both guys, like,
them both matched as well, so it's size and bulk, and it's not nobody's overpowering it. It's
like
on paper. Hogan and the Warrior, is it?
Oh, I think this match needed about 1 more leg drop, and it had been 5 stars.
5 stars.
Fucking David Tuna Meltzer would have loved it. But no, I personally like. Fuck, this is a dream match for me, and still watching it today.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like everything about them, there was such intensity with them.
I enjoyed watching it. It was a good opener for me. And you know, it's quite short. The Taz mission he's put in. Kurt Angle, he's dead.
Yeah,
he's out. Best way of putting it. So King's putting it over as a choke. JR's just selling it as a version of a sleeper. Obviously, it's the Taz mission. It wasn't put over by the commentators at this point that it was the Taz mission. The referee, I think, really probably fucks it up a little bit here. So he picks Angle's on twice.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, no, I better not do that. And I'll ring the bell, obviously, for future storyline purpose. What did you make of the finish?
Confused. It felt like they couldn't tell what the move was. It's like, if it's a choke, if it's a sleeper, fucking sell it that way. Like, pick a lane, bitch. Pick a lane.
Yep.
And I think that was the only part of the match I felt hurt it. But a lot of other matches, you can have the best match in the world. If that ending is in any way, shape, or form confusing or not explained properly, naturally your memory of a match just goes down.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only issue I had with this match personally, was just that end of the confusion. But
The story is Taz is officially the winner, but Kurt Angle, is he defeated, is he not defeated, and that's where we're going after this.
Yeah.
Big Dave, he rates it 2 stars. Mars?
I was going to say 2 stars.
2.5.
Okay.
I'll say
I was also going with 2 as well, yeah. Good, solid opener.
Yeah.
Crowd were hot. It's a good start.
Yeah.
So we get a promo segment next with the Hardy Boyz and Terry Runnels. Yeah, very nice. Female. Who is in They're interviewed by Michael Cole on this point, and he goes to Terry, and this is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life with Jeff Hardy. Literally, Terry goes, "Yeah, we're going to go out there and excite the crowd," and then Jeff goes, "No, Terry, you can't go out there. It's too dangerous." Literally, like that. And fuck me, I don't think I'll ever watch a Jeff sober promo again. You know, he can't have been sober at this point. No, Terry!
Like the original Resident Evil game, isn't it?
Chris Redfield.
You could have been a Terry sandwich!
So, the Hardy Boyz, it's safe to say at this point, are shit at promos. Yeah. Matt has obviously become a legend when it comes to promos. Jeff, not so much. He's still better than this. But yeah, they definitely need some work at this point. But the point of the promo, lads, is to get over the fact that they're going into a tables match. It's the first ever tables match that the WWF have presented at this point, and you know it's going to be dangerous. So did they get the job done in that respect?
Just think about how many firsts that the Dudleys, the Edge and Christian, and the Hardys have been involved in this era as well. It's just amazing. So that's why they're remembered so well. It's just because we created so many of their memories. I think it just gets lost nowadays.
It does.
It gets a bit. It isn't thought of as much. Whereas this was like a tag team title match. What the fuck?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? A TLC match. What the fuck? Tag team ladder match. What the fuck?
You know what I mean? I remember the Royal Rumble '92 was pretty much all tag matches. The opener was a tag, the next match was a tag. I was like, how many fucking tags do you want? This is a tag team and tables match.
There was one in there.
There was one.
And I think it's because as well people know the Dudleys, so they know that something's going to fucking these matches, something's going to happen. And obviously the Hardys got known for being a bit, team extreme. And, these don't care about fucking diving.
Michael Hayes.
And obviously Edge and Christian was sort of a lot of the ones that didn't really fit in, but they was just as extreme as the rest.
By the end of it, they were up there.
No, from 5-second poses to clock in your head with a concerto. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about development of tag teams. And to be fair, Edge and Christian always pretty much went over, didn't they? You know, it's because Edge was apparently bribing his writer at the time. We get to see some shots of New York, obviously, beautiful city and all of that bollocks. JR gets the King to read the 1-800 statement, but it's like me sitting next to you now, commentating and then going, "Do you want to read this bit, buddy?" Literally, I don't know if you clocked it or you heard it, but he literally goes, "Read that, King," and the King reads it, and then the King goes, "How did I do?"
On the air interview for 1-800.
Literally, I was baffled. It was like, obviously JR had gone, "No, fuck yeah, I can't be arsed." And it's safe to say that ECW and WCW talent, so the big show is where I'm thinking at this point. Obviously Paul White previously, the Giant, blah blah blah, and now the Dudleys and Taz in the opening segments are really improving the product. You ever want to watch a tag team tables match for psychology and high spots? This is it. This is perfect.
I agree.
It's great.
That's what I mean. There's nothing else with this match. It's like the spots were so inventive, especially as well as first matches of any kind. People always, it's like, oh, we can do this. No one else has seen it before. That's fine. But the way they did the spots, Holy shit.
No, but I think you could, like, we've obviously had a lot more tables matches as years have gone on. Well, that doesn't. You watch this match and it still doesn't take away how special that match was as well. Like, you can sort of think, oh, that was alright for the time, but it's got better. And I've seen better stuff. I don't think like that in terms of that. I think this is probably the best.
This will be really good today.
Yeah. It just shows.
In fact, I don't think some of them who are there now could do what they did then.
No.
Well, I'm going to say, like, what, Extreme Rules? They just had their tag team tables match. That match versus this match. Ask me in 20 years, which I'll remember. Because guess what? Devon, Bubba, Jeff, Matt.
Oh, testify! The match starts hot. They end up outside. JR immediately puts over that it has to be an offensive move through the table, and it has to be back-to-back successive. So Bubba would go through, and then Devon has to go through, for example, to be the end of the match. Fucking hell, I'm giving away already. That's not. I could have used Matt and Jeff. Spoiler alert! That's what happens. But like I say, like the first table, he's in the ring less than a minute into the match. Matt saves Jeff's from their back body drop, I think it is. And again, it's just the psychology, and there's plenty of examples like this throughout the match.
You know what I loved? There was a spot in the match where they set up the table up against the barrier, and they had a table set up there
on the stairs,
and it was just so
with the Hardys,
brilliant. And they put I think Bubba was lying on the table. I think Matt Hardy went up the top rope.
Devon.
It was Devon,
Because Bubba had already gone through at this point.
And Matt's on the top rope already.
And he jumps off. Devon will roll off. Matt was crashing through the table on his own. With Devon as he rolled off, he rolled into the other side leaning up. And at the same time, Jeff Hardy he comes over the top rope. So that quick succession was so amazing.
Perfect.
Because the set it up, he wasn't really sure what he was doing, so they set it up in a way that he forgot about it. And they didn't put it there. They put it there quite a while ago. They set it up and then they've done some other stuff. I think that's the brilliance of it, is setting up but not making people know. It's like a magician's sleight of hand.
Definitely.
I'm going to divert your attention. When this magic comes, this is what it's going to be.
Out of the blue.
100%.
It was amazing.
It was like one of my favourite spots was Bubba going through the table and both Matt and Jeff going through the table at the same time.
The initial camera angle though.
That was what I was talking about. So you see Matt coming, you can see Matt being
Matt's on the ladder.
But
so
Jeff,
that's what you're looking
literally
at.
just like a magician, just like surprise motherfucker, and then straight into it, like, and it arse.
I was like, where did Jeff come from? Literally. I was like, fucking hell, Jeff. My name is Jeff. Literally, he must have been saying that as he jumped. Terry, no! My name is Jeff. Terry, no! You can't come out. Unbelievable.
Still missing the match where Jerry come.
How many, like, fucking unprotected chair shots was in that? Was in that match. It was absolutely unbelievable. Like, that would never, ever be passed off today. Ever.
No.
Also, back then though, it's like, if you watch any show where there's any sort of weapons back then,
they're all over there.
Chair shots, they are eating shit on every last one. And this is before people knew about concussion syndromes and onset from that.
They knew about steroids, guys, because there'd been a trial.
I'm going to say, you can do drugs, but the second you smack someone over the head with a fucking chair, that'll be fine, they'll have a bit of a headache. Yeah. I mean, nowadays, there's a part of me that's like, I want to sort of see chair shots like that nowadays, but do them very rarely, make them mean something, not just...
I think I've put like, I've seen like Hulk Hogan do a chair shot. We've seen it on the blockchain. I'll try and put a link on it. I'll put it in the video. But like, have you seen it? Is he's hanging through the ropes? And Hulk Hogan comes along and just goes,
like that. Safely.
How many things, like just showing him what the chair looked like up close rather than I'm smashing your head in.
Amazing.
And I think back on track, so tables, ladders and chairs are all involved in this match. And it just keeps building as a prelude to TLC. So I think TLC for the first time took place. No, so WrestleMania 2000 was a ladder match. Tables were then again involved. So were chairs. I believe first TLC was SummerSlam 2000.
Okay.
Fact check me.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
There was a triple threat sort of match at No Mercy as well, I believe. And then eventually come back round to WrestleMania 17, TLC 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was SummerSlam 2000 for the first one.
Yeah. So WrestleMania 2000, I just remember Jeff Hardy on the 20-foot ladder.
Yep, on the aisleway.
On the
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a triple threat tag team ladder match. Yeah.
I always remember the Mick Foley call for the TLC match.
Yeah.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh my!
I always remember that.
So yeah, Bubba had been put through the table by Matt and Jeff. Magic Jeff, my name is
Magic
out
Jeff.
of nowhere, yeah, literally out of nowhere. That's when it then led, the Hardys were in control, led to the spot that Mark's just talked about there, where the Hardys both simultaneously go through tables, but there was no offensive move used. That then led to a big powerbomb on Matt from the top through the table, so we're level. We're now, Jeff or Devon need to go through the table. They end up in the aisleway of sorts.
Yeah.
Some bloke is helping Bubba settle tables. Did you see it? In his blue jacket, like.
What, Blue Jacket Dudley?
blue jacket Dudley was helping Bubba from the other side because Bubba couldn't set them up. So they set 4 tables up. Bubba and Jeff take a walk into the crowd, don't they? And then we're going home, boys. There's a couple of spots coming up.
Yeah.
And it's just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Bubba takes the fall, and what a fall it was.
Yeah.
And then Matt gets the better of Devon to set him up on a table, and Jeff takes a leap of faith. Yeah. Big swan bomb. Takes Devon through the table, and that's it. The Hardy Boyz have beat the Dudley Boyz in their own game in a tables match.
Bobby Jeff Hardy took his top off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can see like the big yellow
the
taxi
cab,
in the background, the camera behind him.
Yeah.
Such an iconic shot.
It is. It's great. In the garden again.
Yeah.
Any other arena in the world, that would have been just a standard shot, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But in the garden, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Just that little alleyway as well at the entrance, like, okay, so I've never been to New York personally, but like,
You know what it looks like now?
Yeah, at least I've got an idea.
Brooklyn. So Dave rates it 3.25 stars. I'm going 3.5.
I went with 3.
I'm going to say 4.
Okay.
Personally, I'm going to say 4. I love the match.
That's fine. No, that's what we're here for.
Fucking, they'll shoot you loud too quick now. Fuck yeah.
Oh, don't worry, it's fine. No.
I got more. I got plenty.
Breaking your virginity on hot tag reviews. Giving some
hot.
hot stars. So we get the Mr. Rumble 2000. Judges are sent to the ringside area, consisting of Sergeant Slaughter, Tony Gurria, Fabulous Moolah, who we lost on November 2nd, 2007 at 84.
Right.
Johnny V, who we also lost. I mean, I really had to have a look at who this was personally. Hadn't really experienced a lot of this person, Johnny Valen. He passed away April 4th, 2018 at 71. And then classy Freddie Blassie, what a legend. June 2nd, 2003 at the age of 85. But Jerry the King Lawler, he's the master of ceremonies. He then goes to think and get out. These girls are not your type, as they are not inflatable. JR absolutely pops the fuck up on the It's like he's almost forgot to mute his mic.
Yeah.
And he has a belly laugh. He's like a natural
JR's
belly
supposed
laugh.
to be like the opposite to King.
Yeah.
Calm down, King. Stop being foolish. Shut up. Whereas obviously, yeah, that's supposed to be agreeing with him, is he really?
And agree does, you know, what was Andy Richter like randomly there as well? He didn't come out with the rest of them. Was he over the barricade going, can I be a judge?
Yeah.
And then King's like, yeah, just jump in.
Oh, well, I've been on TV, I'm on Conan O'Brien.
Exactly,
Let me
that's
on.
big in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, let me in. All right,
Yeah,
come on then.
Yeah.
So let's go through the lineup of ladies that we have in this contest. We have Ivory, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2018. No, Terry! We got Terry Rollins. We got.
Ram, just kill the man. No, Terry.
So Chris Redfield has announced Terry Rollins. back to the ring. And then we got Jackie, Miss Texas, Jacqueline, however you want to prefer to have her announced. She was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2016. The next one's really interesting. So, it's great, it's fantastic.
I just love wrestling, it's real to me, damn it!
So the next one's a really interesting one. I did a bit of research on her, like, you know, not because she's got huge boobs and she was called BB. So Barbara Bush was actually her ring name as such.
She was a paramedic one.
She was a paramedic apparently, so she had a small stint in WCW and TNA after, and in all 8 matches that she wrestled in, she's undefeated. She's technically the best women's wrestler that's ever lived. Shout out to you. Can't remember her real name. BB, shout out to you. I forgot to make a note of her real name.
The one true streak in wrestling nowadays.
8-0, mate.
Yeah.
8-0. Someone needs to bring her back. Just for an ass whooping, like, do you know what I mean?
That's all of fame over those. Right.
Yeah, I mean, there are 2 others who were in there. Luna Vachon, who we lost at the age of 48 on August 27, 2010. I like Luna, she's a good one.
Yeah, solid worker.
And Kat, so the women's champion currently, doesn't bring the belt to the ring. She got married to the King, Jerry Lawler, in September of the year 2000, so they're already seeing each other at this point. Kat got her tits out, is the best way I can put it, really. Yeah. She exposed her chest. Exposed her chest.
That's one of them AMSR fans out there.
I feel like a mini supermarket advert. Yeah, Kat's in the ring, fuck it. So, I don't know. Go on, talk me through your opinion, and then I'll give you my opinion, I suppose. We'll do it a little bit differently.
This is like proper attitude era.
Yeah.
This time, like they had the fucking bra and panties matches, and they had the evening gown matches. It's basically to just get fucking people fucking hot under the collar or whatever.
Yeah.
This is how like WWE probably disrespecting women so much in terms of just what the men do.
Yeah.
I'm not moaning. Come on, I'm not moaning.
You're a boy. You're a man now, but at the time you're a teenage boy.
I'm a boy. Like,
this is what we wanted to see as teenage boys.
Of course, you know, I need to know what the world is like. You know, it's for the boys. I need for There's nothing else to it. It's just like
I listened to JR's podcast, so just to interject, and like you say, literally the only reason this was there was to lighten the mood as such. You know, you had a pretty serious match to begin with, for good reason. Taz was involved, Kurt was involved. And then we just had a fucking slobber knocker, and as JR would say, with the tag team tables match. So now we need to lighten the mood a little bit, let people go and have a piss. I mean, there was not one bloke in that audience going for a piss during this, that's for sure. Don't want to see all of it, no matter how bad it got. And obviously it got bad. Well, not bad, funny in my opinion. Mark Henry's corpse in, ain't he, when he comes to it. But yeah, go on. What did you think?
It's amazing how WWE have changed their mind, like, not even 20 years ago, 10 years ago, like, compared to nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, with the women's revolution in wrestling, and how there's not only, like, a world champion women's wrestler, there's 2. Mm-hmm. There's tag champions. They're actually taken as legitimate athletes, as they are. But we're back then,
in the 80s, when there were wrestlers, they had a women's division, didn't they, really? But it wasn't really a women's division.
They had a division of 2.
Moolah and whoever.
Richter,
and then Alundra Blues, whoever.
Yeah, that was it. But, watching this with, like, current eyes, this segment has aged like milk. Like, really has. But
It's just bad to watch now, isn't it?
Yeah,
And I'm 31, so I was the target audience for this. 18 to 34, we talk about it so often when it comes to the Attitude Era and the demographic now. They've changed it slightly now, it's like 18 to 46 now.
Yeah.
I think, you know, for the new ratings. But 18 to 34 was definitely aimed back in the day. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, they've got nice bodies, you know, great, fantastic. Ivory and Luna specifically aren't interested in the slightest.
Yeah.
Luna's come out in a see-through gown and she's like, you won't get in any more than this. Ivory's come out in a WWF yellow jumper.
Yeah.
You know, she's took it off, she's wearing a thong, you know, she's in a bikini, it's a bathing suit, isn't it? It's nice, she works out, she's toned, great, fantastic.
Love the fact she was wearing her boots as well, though. She was ready to work. She was like, if this was
She had
happening,
a
I'll fucking throw it down.
didn't she, really? Yeah. Terry obviously was the standout from a TNA perspective, a tits and ass point of view. She was not afraid to get up on the ropes and show the front, and then the camera was catching the back. So she was really, really going for it. Jackie, she'd exposed the tits back in '97, so she's no stranger to this. She knew Sable was going with the hands. She did a nip slip. You know, she knew what was going there.
Did she try to one up it legit?
Absolutely, she did. Yeah. Fucking, she did.
Captain Carnage, wasn't it?
Out the cup. And then Luna, BB was stiff as a board. She was there. And then he come to Kat, who had got her breast out, and that's how I should have put it earlier, her breast out at Armageddon 1999. So how can she, you know, up that? So it turns out that this was King's idea to bubble wrap her. So it's a bubble wrap bikini. I mean, you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything. Ivory's was better if you ask me.
Yeah. Like purely like aesthetically, like if I was looking at them, like Ivory personally.
Yeah, I think for me, Terry Runnels still wins.
I still think the fact he was
if I was
well,
judging, Terry Runnels wins.
I think things are a bit natural as well. It's like you can look at her and go,
yeah.
If she's had work done, you can't tell.
You can't tell.
With everyone else, it's like, yeah, can we just put these helium balloons on your chest and put a bit of skin on? That's fine.
So the judges are about to make a decision. And then that music hits and it's Mae Young. Now, Mae Young... there you go. So that's absolutely fantastic. Now, Mae passed away on January 14th, 2014 at the age of 90. Fair play to that one. Mae, thanks for everything.
She was still taking.
You've run out of beer.
Power bombs through the table.
Unbelievable.
No fucks given about that woman. No fucks.
So she comes in and she cuts this amazing promo where she basically tells the King that don't want to see my puppies. And she does not disappoint. She reveals herself, chest area. Now apparently she had cups on of sorts to make them lower. I don't know how true that is. Obviously, what we got is what was on Channel 4, a censored Big X. But through the Big X, Mark Henry, who famously had sex with Mae Young on TV, Mae Young giving birth to a hand. These are storylines in the Attitude Era, folks. Please check them out. The hand makes a guest appearance on like Raw 1000. You know, it's great. It's fucking great.
With this episode of...
You think he should be mixed race, but he's fully white and we're all right with it.
It's yellow.
Yellow.
Shit.
The Simpsons.
Yeah. Homer Simpson.
They drew him to life. So anyway, that happened. From there, Mark Henry is corpsing to fuck, isn't he? He's laughing his head off through that censored X. You can see King's. He's Seth Rollins in, and where's my chicken noodle soup? So anyway, we switch from the Miss Rumble to the first instalment of the night at WWF New York. We're introduced to Jonathan Coachman, the coach. It's the first time he's ever been on camera for the World Wrestling Federation, other than probably in Vince's studio in Connecticut. And he gets mobbed. The crowd are absolutely all over him. And he does not look comfortable in the slightest.
I thought that was awfully fair. Like, the more jumping over his back, screaming at him, I think somebody gets in front of him on the camera and he's pushing him out of the way and he's just like, fucking just get me, just turn the camera off now, you know, send it back. I feel like that's well, to be fair. Like, drunken New Yorkers in a fucking bar watching wrestling, ready for a street fight.
Like you can tell over the time, over the years, he got a lot more comfortable. But it was like, I felt bad. I thought it was like a bet that someone had lost. It was like, okay, so you go out there, we're going to do some stuff at New York.
This is your initial kid.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to New York. Where the big boys really play.
I think he shoots himself that much, that's sending them at Man United, don't they?
Yeah.
To make sure he's alright.
And all of that was blocked off, wasn't it?
What do you mean a pre-Zombieland though?
Yeah. Great promo. So anyway, we move on to a promo segment with the co-holders of the Intercontinental Championship. It's Chris Jericho and Chyna. And they're arguing about the belt, and I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on here? Who's the champ? Turns out that they're both the champion. Do you remember much about this storyline?
Yeah, I remember this one,
Yeah?
Yeah, I think there was in like a bit of like a rivalry, and I think there's like a double pin or some sort of like double submission. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they basically won it and they couldn't decide who it was, so they said like, you both know the title.
I'm glad that was explained well.
Yeah. So
what more do you want?
No, that's it, that's all I wanted. Do you remember much of this?
I just remember Jericho being a chauvinistic heel.
Yeah.
Like when they won the belt together.
Yeah.
And up to that, I think they'd been feuding and there'd been lots of matches where it's like, oh, well, they've both won, they've both lost.
Yeah.
So.
It turns out that Hardcore Holly has pinned them individually in non-title matches. Yeah, but Plug Holly. You've met Bobber.
Oh, I told Carly.
Yeah. And
he's a fucking beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. That's one way of putting it. So anyway, Bob's involved in this one. But the funniest thing about this promo is that they're arguing over who's going to walk out with the championship. So it's Dave Hebner that walks up.
I'm sure it said it was Earl on the commentary. I'm alright.
Oh.
Okay, so this is it. So Dave walks up and he goes, I'll settle it for you. I'll set the belt and I'll drop it down to ringside now. As he's walking off, Jericho goes, Earl! And then he goes, Dave! So Jericho's shooting from the hip. He's like, oh, Earl. But, you know, it was in fact Dave that was doing it. So, yeah. The belt is in the ring. Mike Yoda's the referee. Good old Big Match Mike. And Hardcore Holly's the first man out. He looks great. He's in that great Hardcore Holly shape, so to speak, as does Chyna. Chyna looks fucking fit. She's got abs for days. She's obviously just been in Playboy about a year or so ago. I don't know when this was.
Yeah.
She sorted her chin out. She looks good here.
She was at that right phase of having work done. She'd done enough to sort of feminise her appearance, but she hadn't gone too much.
I think she obviously laid off the fucking weights and stuff, didn't she? So obviously a
but she still looked good though.
Yeah,
like she still looked like legitimately.
She looked feminine. She looked like a woman.
Yeah, she did. She looked like a woman, but she don't want to be treated like a man. Some entrance music there, mate. I tell you, some lyrics.
Get on to that. Write them lyrics down.
You what?
Write them lyrics down. Get on to.
No.
That's a good.
So Chris Jericho, who is.
Don't treat me like a woman. Don't treat me like a man.
So
treat me like nobody else.
Like you know me.
Yeah, that was it.
So anyway, Y2J. Chris Jericho, he's hard controlling two monkeys, I tell you. So Chris Jericho comes out, obviously he's the current AEW champ. Oh, no. Spoiler alert! What's happened there?
Well, modern wrestling, John Moxley beat him at not their last big pay-per-view, but the pay-per-view before, like 3 months ago.
So when we were filming this...
That's how far I'm good, it's not looking like a fucking...
So Jericho...
Cut this!
I thought Jericho defended the belt against Orange Cassidy.
No, that was just a match.
Sound alright then?
That was just a match.
That shows how much I'm keeping up with current wrestling today, doesn't it, folks?
This is why I'm doing a pay-per-view review from 20 years ago.
Correct, because guess what? I know more about this than I do about Jericho being the AEW champion right now. Fair play, John Moxley. Fair play. Congratulations on winning the championship. Anyway, Jericho's a legend. He's pretty much the GOAT, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got all of the gimmicks, everything. Just everything about him. His charisma.
Constantly evolving. Constantly evolving.
His days in WCW were Ralphus.
Oh,
mate.
Like so. The conspiracy theories.
Best cruiserweight champion ever.
And he's got his areas all like, oh.
Yeah.
And he's just like air spraying, it just looks like a mess, but
like just randomly dropping Hanson references to make 4 people laugh.
I shit you not, right? And, you know, whether I get some heat for this or not, when a female comes into work, for example, and has her hair anywhere near how Chris Jericho looked in the year 2000, I instantly tell them that they look like Chris Jericho from 2000, followed up by a picture of what Chris Jericho looked like in the year 2000.
I feel like it was that one.
I've done this to several people. Several.
Fuck it, what team have you got?
There's a lot of women that work where I work.
Jericho marks. There's a lot of
Where we work, there's a lot of women there. Sometimes they have Chris Jericho hair. That's on them.
I like the idea though, you ask them what their name is and they're about to say, you go, shut the hell! It's just like full and go Rocky on them.
Yeah. So the match, let's talk about the match in general. So it starts with I'm not clapping for the video thing. It starts with slaps. They just slap each other quite hard. We see a lot of Jericho versus Holly in this one.
Sort of get rid of China early on down there to
She takes that bump well out of that buckle, I must say.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised when I seen it. China's blowing hard in this. I don't know if you felt the same, but I did.
Yeah, it felt like, especially the early stages of the match, it was like they planned it like a one-on-one. It was like, oh, we'll just get her out of the way for the time being.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, yeah.
Even when she was in the ring though, I have got to agree, that's where I was like, fuck, why are you blowing this hard? You've been thrown out and done one thing, so really?
Yeah.
But
and that there sums up this match, because, like, don't get me wrong, I was close, but it's not time. It's not time. It's low on the Richter scale, but it's not time, Art. It's not time. It was all right. Let's talk about the finish, because fuck it, right?
yeah,
You know, the match is the match.
It's a nothing match.
It's the Intercontinental Championship we're talking about there, but this is a joke, really.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental title. So I don't know. Holly gets hit with a chair.
Yeah.
Jericho's on the outside. China puts in the walls of Jericho. It's a shit Boston Crab.
Yeah.
It's not the walls of Jericho.
She's
Then
looking,
shit Boston Crab.
she's looking around for the next spot, like, being like making it dead obvious.
When's that bulldog coming from?
Yeah.
That's the next spot. So Chris Jericho hits the bulldog. He hits the Asai moonsault. I think I've said that right. Anyway, he moonsaults off the middle rope. You know the move. You all know the move.
Lion Salt.
The Lion Salt. There you go. JR didn't call it that on the night. I've completely forgot what it was called. Thank you very much, Daniel Cornfield, and that's why he's here this week. And that's the finish. Jericho.
No, I'm just fact
checks, man. What's TLC? SummerSlam TV?
I don't fucking know.
So anyway,
I'm not very good fact checker. I just know
Jericho wins the Intercontinental Championship. The undisputed Intercontinental Champion. End of story. Big Dave gives it 1.5 stars. Where's your head at?
half a star.
Really?
Like it felt sloppy. If it had been just like, and no disrespect to China, but had this just been Jericho versus Holly, it'd have been a serviceable match.
Yeah.
But it just felt like, it's like, well, if it had just been Jericho versus China, I reckon it'd have been a better match. But because
I think they had some decent matches.
they had good matches
from memory.
Yeah. So I think to have the three of them together, it didn't feel like they worked together very well.
No.
Like,
Do you reckon Bob wanted to work with a woman?
I don't think Bob Holly wants to work with fucking anyone personally. He just
Especially Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Drop me on my fucking head, break my fucking neck.
He didn't even want to work with his own cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
Crash Holly.
Pouring out for Crash Holly.
Absolutely. Crashy's later on makes a special appearance. The greatest hardcore champion of all time.
He's the greatest super heavyweight wrestler of all time.
Nice. That's good. I'll give it 1 star, Mart.
1 star.
Yep. All right then. So next we get a great rock promo, and this is a good rock
This promo appears in a lot of like top 5s and top 10s and
yeah.
This actual promo.
That's good to know. I just thought it was a really good promo. The fact that Michael Cole goes, so are you worried about people in the Royal Rumble? And The Rock goes, yeah, I'm worried about Headbanger Mosh. I'm worried about Crash Holly.
Yeah, it should be.
Michael Cole's like, what about the Big Show? You shut your fucking mouth!
He's like, if I get past those two, I'm going to have a chance of winning.
Yeah, and then obviously he tells Michael Cole to get his monkey ass out of there, and he just cuts a great promo about winning the Royal Rumble. And essentially, if you know what happens, and without really revealing the results so far, I guess, this show was plainly to put The Rock in that position heading towards WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There was Stone Cold was out, Undertaker was injured, so you've got your 2 people who main evented SummerSlam 2 years ago in this arena, so SummerSlam 98 in Madison Square Garden, probably the biggest face and to an extent the biggest heel, really, with the Ministry of Darkness and the corporation. And obviously Triple H really stepped up when the Undertaker went missing and when Stone Cold went missing, but you're missing them too. You've got to. The Rock was still, to me, still being built, even though he'd main evented WrestleMania 15 as the champ.
This is that thing though, this is that sort of time period where they were building big stars, but
Yeah.
they weren't big enough. There wasn't enough of them that by losing just 2, like it felt very much like, oh shit, was scrambling. And I think it shows in the Rumble, but when we get to that.
Definitely. So, really, really good promo. I mean, just remember, no Stone Cold or Undertaker, like I said. There's no Shawn or Brett. There's no Hogan and Warrior. They're in WCW. It's time to build a new major star for the company. And obviously, DJ.
I've seen this actually, and I'm not going to lie, I think within 5 minutes of watching the Titan games, they called him DJ and stopped.
Several times. Infuriating. They get 0 stars for calling him DJ.
It's fucking disgusting.
I would say -5 stars if you can do
I'm not into minuses like Dave, but hats off to him, look. So the Tag Team Championship graphic is shown, and a video package is played, a pretty generic one, really. They're trying to make this match bigger than it actually is, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too much time on it, guys. And I think you know where I'm going with this. It's a bag of shit.
It wasn't a bad match, there was nothing to it. It was a nothing match. It lasted for like 5 minutes.
Considering the Age Outlaws are the best tag team to hold them belts.
Yeah.
And this is 2 shit matches they've had now.
Yeah.
They had that throwaway match at the King of the Ring 98 and they've had this shit match here. And they're the greatest tag team to hold those titles, in your opinion. We need a good new Age Outlaws match. You picked 2 Mick Foley matches after a tag gone in. So you give me a new Age Outlaws one and I might change my mind.
Okay.
Fair
Yeah. So,
anyway, the King of the Ring, Mr. Ass, and the Road Dogg bit. Do you know what? I ain't done it. Because we know it's the Tag Team Championship match, and you know why it's the Tag Team Championship match? Because, oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody! Yes!
and the crowd were all the fucking on that as well. They loved
it
every time.
In the Rumble as well, like?
Oh, that was it. That was the thing that popped me more than anything. No entrance for Road Dogg on the mic. That crowd were on point for it.
It was great.
I loved it.
Goats.
So, classic gimmicks.
Fucking actually don't it?
I absolutely do, because they're in me shit match again. You know, it's just shit. I can't even spend any time talking on about it. In my notes, I haven't even written a spot down. All I've written is it was messy as fuck and shit. 0 stars for me. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think I've actually got to agree. This is my 0 star of the night.
Half a star. Just because it's the new Age Outlaws, right? Yeah, okay. Fruit Bradshaw, please don't beat me up. But 0 stars. Dave gives it 0 stars. I've written that, and that surprised me when I've said it again. But Dave actually agreed with me for once. I'm alright with that. It's usually me agreeing with him.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. But anyway.
I don't care, because it's time. WWF Championship match. The street fight.
Holy shit.
The semi. Main event.
This. I'm going to say something controversial now, before you even say this. This was put as the semi-main event.
Yeah.
I think this actually should have been the main event, personally. I think this actually should have been the main event.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all.
I love having a rumble at the end of it, because you know who's won, but...
Again, it doesn't matter these days anyway.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't the first time. It wouldn't have been the first time for the Rumble not to go on last. In 1996 and 1997, you had Brett versus Taker for the championship. You had Shawn versus Sid for the championship. They went on last. In 98, Undertaker and Michaels, they went on last. 99, the Rumble went on last. 2000, the Rumble went on last. So there was a shift, wasn't there? Yeah. There was a change. But up until 96, it was always the Rumble on last, I believe. Always.
Who's the fact checker again now?
Yeah.
I was like, you just schooled me on that. No, but I'm just unapologetically saying it. I fucking love this match.
Okay, good.
I'm probably nowhere near as a mark for Mick Foley as Mark over here. But fuck me. Fuck me running with an armadillo, it was good.
So without talking about any of the spots that happened in the match so far, obviously your explanation is fucking an armadillo. Yeah. What's yours?
It's just, obviously, you know, the story is Mick Foley's Madison Square Garden, that's where he used to go when he was a kid, and that was his stadium, he used to be right there, and it was so special for him to have that sort of match there.
Yeah.
And I think just, you know, Triple H was like, this is the Triple H that I know, and this is the Triple H that was, I'd say it was at his peak. I wouldn't say that it was, you know, any worse in the next, you know, 5, 6, 7 years after, but I think this is where he peaked in his performance, in the way he looked, his attitude, the way people reacted to him. I think this was the best that he's got, basically.
Okay.
And just to have the two just standing in the middle of the ring, and just staring each other down, and you know, Mick's still got that twitch in his eye as he's looking at him. You know, it's just an amazing opening to that match.
Yeah, it's great.
And obviously Steph goes back as well, and he tells her to, you know, it's not safe.
Stephanie, no!
Terry, no! Yeah, but Paul does a better job. He gives her a kiss, I believe.
It's his first time kiss.
And that's the first time that they kiss.
Surprised.
There you go, it was a shoot. Yeah. And this is pretty much when they got together really now, isn't it? After each show. There's, you know, on the WWE Network for $9.99, there's a great program called Untold that covers this match. It's a great watch, isn't it?
It is.
The same as all the other Untold matches that are on there. Hell in a Cell, the first one with Shawn and Cade.
Untold is such
a it's just, it's in depth, isn't it? He pulls back the curtain fully. And that's
it's a nice perspective to hear it from them talking about
absolutely, rather than third party.
Yeah.
Comes from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Is that the saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, alright, fact check.
I don't know, still words out my horse's mouth.
So the video package is shown, obviously we talked about it a little bit earlier in the opening, very intense. Like you say, I think the reveal of Cactus Jack is better now than it was in 1997 because we now really understand what Cactus Jack is about, who he is, you know, the dumpster matches at WrestleMania 14 and so on and so forth. So we know exactly who he is. We know who Mankind is. He, you know, he's thrown off cells, chucked through cells at this point, and he still can't get the job done against Triple H. So to go one step further to Cactus Jack means, fuck me, this is going to be brutal. Brutal it was from the outset. You know, it's really intense. Mickey's talking some shit to Triple H.
I was trying to sort of work out if he was,
what he was saying.
If he was trying to call something at the start. But I think it was legitimately like, I don't know. I was trying to work out, I was thinking, you know, is he giving the signal like?
He was selling on it, Triple H.
And I think he was legitimately like fucking having him on.
You know, I'm going to fuck you up for, you know, blah, blah, blah.
That's what I love about, like, when you see the three faces of Foley, though, as much as it is Mick Foley playing all three, they all have different mannerisms and all got, like, different little things where Doodle's very much like a happy, dancing, doing the switch thing with his knees and, But then you go to, like, Cactus Jack, he's constantly talking shit. And, like, no other character. Like, Mankind will occasionally, like, even early days would do the weird, like, that weird pig squeal thing, like, I can't make that noise.
Like a couch.
That was near to it.
Casting couches getting 5 stars.
Couches getting 5 stars from me.
5 stars and they'll wipe down later. But we get, like, literally, like, Cactus Jack, like, when he wrestles, like, the feeling isn't like he's wrestling, like, it feels like you're watching someone legitimately in a fight. It just so happens to be in a wrestling ring, and I think, especially with this match, it shows.
And he does, the stare off is dead intense, and then they go into it, don't they, in the end. And, you know, it ends up on the outside, Triple H takes a back body drop over into the crowd, fight through the crowd a little bit, and then, obviously, this is where it happens, so pallets end up coming out.
Wooden pallets.
Wooden pallets that they picked up from the dock probably on the day or something like that, you know, Can we have them, lads?
It was just probably hanging out outside in the fucking...
In the garden, So they wouldn't have gone far to find them pallets. And they were brutal pallets. They wasn't worked. No one had looked at them.
Just fall them up before they even picked them up.
Exactly. They were just pallets. And the suplex. So Mick suplexes Triple H onto the pallets, and immediately we see it. We now know it's famously documented around the leg injury. But fuck me, that was a cut, wasn't it?
I believe that it was a puncture.
Yeah, it was a puncture, without a doubt.
So, but you can tell he was a Triple H, like, straight away looked down into his leg. And I think he famously said that when he took his boots off at the end of the match, his boot was just full of blood.
And the thing as well, it's like something like that, it's like you can't really plan for that, though. That's all just, it's happened, you've just got to deal with it.
Exactly. You know, the next big spot really is when Barbie gets introduced. So that's the first time that we see this version of Barbie. It's a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. The crowd go fucking ballistic. Earl obviously tries to stop him. JR is going, this is too far. You know, he's really putting it over as a dangerous situation. Triple H then obviously repeatedly hits Foley in the midsection with Barbie after getting it off him. Then, I mean, Triple H has had some bloodbaths in the garden, you know, more this and Elimination Chamber Survivor Series 2002, probably the standouts for me.
That was when Shawn Michaels won the title?
Yes.
The Elimination Chamber.
Shawn Michaels won the title after returning from Jesus and all that.
And then they had that street fight at the Survivor Series, didn't they?
So his return was at SummerSlam 02, which was a street fight, which was obviously brutal. Then in the Garden they had the Survivor Series, which was in the November, which again was a bloodbath. Then at the Rumble they had a last man standing match, bloodbath. Then it was WrestleMania 20, bloodbath. Which again was in
John
the
Michaels just likes the bullet. They just like
they liked to blade at the time. Yeah, by all means. Earl eventually hides Barbie. He gives it to Hugo Sabanovich at the commentary table.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because Mick gets back on top and he goes, "Where's my fucking bat?" Basically, like that's what he says, and you can make that out. So Earl eventually sells out the station table, right? And then what happens? So Mick punches Hugo. There's no way of short selling this today. He just fucking nails him. And Carlos Cabrera's like, "I'm having none of that. I'm having back."
And this is the dynamic of the match because who's the heel? That was so much of a heel move. And
Punching a commentator?
Yeah, exactly.
The Mexicans and the Spanish must be like, "That's my fucking commentator."
Yeah, he's ragging the fucking ref around. Where, you know, that's something you do as a heel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, you imagine the situation though, if like Sin Cara punched JR, like
it would probably be botched.
What would be funny is if Sin Cara just trampoline over the entire ring and dived on JR. I'll enjoy that more.
That would be funny. So Foley, finally it's Triple H with a 2x4 and then he drops an elbow drop for a 2 count.
yeah.
This is where Triple H is now really busted open. It's time for an announce table spot. So this was a nice little capture. I don't know if you caught it, but Mark Eaton, who is the timekeeper, so he's the man that's famously rang the bell for many, many years for the World Wrestling Federation, WWE, start helping them with the monitors. So they're on the table, and he sees the spot coming, and he's like, "Fuck, I'll get these monitors out of the way," and he pulls the middle monitor out for him. I just thought that was a nice touch, to be fair. I mean, Howard Finkel fucking passes Triple H handcuffs in a minute. So, you know, where did that come from?
Yeah. Well, it's Triple H obviously getting the thing at the start, hasn't he? I think Troy did that off camera.
Oh, okay.
The camera catched him as he was going around to do the spit on his entrance.
Yes.
Did everyone think that
a bit weird on that, didn't
Give him a little black bag.
Did everyone else get the feeling that it was like they tried to do a heel turn, but it just failed spectacularly?
You reckon?
Yeah. It's like, "Oh, have this for me." Like, he won't come back.
Howard, you're a heel. Howard, you bastard.
Howard's the top heel in the company now.
It wasn't me, it was Howard.
You want your job, you fucking give me this later. Because obviously they were the bag couple, weren't they?
Yeah.
So at the time it was, you do as I say, pretty much. So, you know, you could spin it that way and work. If you're watching it as a one-off match and you don't know the build-up of the story, which most people won't if they're watching it for a one-off, and you're thinking, "What's a ring announcing with man cups?" You might go, "Oh, that's a bit strange."
Yeah. There was a few times as well, I said in this match, I think Mick Foley was calling a lot of the stuff, so I don't know if it was Mick Foley's match to call. But a lot of the times he was dictating the play, and you heard him say, "Tell Triple H to get on his knees when he's outside," so he came in front of the camera and started punching him. So whether the call spots, but I didn't hear Triple H calling his spots, so I don't know if it was Mick calling the shots on what to do.
Yeah.
I think that's his experience of who was in the match in that sort of match.
Yeah.
So if not I'm the champion, I'm the guy on the top guy on the hill, you know what you're doing, it's like, so I'll follow your lead, you know what I mean? So it seemed like that was the sort of way it went.
And if it did go that way, that's really good experience for Triple H to be able to carry the type of matches that he has done over the years.
Later on, it shows.
It really does.
It really shows later on in his career.
You know, taking Batista's nose ring out, for example. I know it was a bit of a fucking. It's a spot that's remembered in that match, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Fuck it anyway. We're talking about the Royal Rumble 2000, not Batista getting his fucking nose piercing ripped out of his face at WrestleMania 35, I believe it was. Fact check. Another one for you. So Triple H finally attempts a pedigree for the first time. He gets flipped into the turnbuckle before taking a bulldog on Barbie, that should stay. For another near fall. At this point, Triple H is leaning over the barricade where his parents are actually sitting. So again, you might have seen this on Untold, and Triple H is obviously fucking pissing her blood, and And front row, his parents are sitting there, his mum is in tears because of the state of him. And he was a state, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think it's probably, like I say, the most I've ever seen Triple H bleed in recent, like, without going to look back at the other matches, this is the one that obviously stands out. So I love this pay-per-view, I love this match, but he was absolutely fucking pissing. But you could tell as well, you know, he was, whether he was bleeding that profusely at the start, I don't know, but as he was sitting up, he was like getting all the blood to his head. It was like proper like tensing his head, and now you can tell that he was trying to like get all the blood to his head, so he's making like his face red and cutting off his hair supply so he could get all the blood up. I think that's probably why he bled so much. Mm-hmm. As he was getting up, you can see that he's probably tensing to get the blood up there. Pushing. Yeah. Which is probably a smart move, I don't know.
Yeah.
Best in the business.
You can tell he's a fan of Ric Flair though, because I mean, let's be honest, if everyone does a blade job, Ric Flair's the man, like,
the man.
He bleeds, like such a grim conversation to have there. When a guy takes a razor blade to where you said, fuck me, it looks good. But
there's no conversation.
Yeah, exactly. But Ric Flair, still to this day, probably, you know, he's bleeding, he's gonna fucking bleed.
Yeah.
But Triple H, I think in this match was giving him a fucking run for his money.
Definitely. And again, I think he did this time and time again after, especially with his rivalry with Shawn Michaels, as I mentioned. But they bled a lot.
Yeah.
Next, Triple H does a bit of leg work. He's shot blocking. You know, after his mentor, really, Ric Flair. Obviously, Ric Flair's not in the company at this point, but still the same sort of tactics as such. He uses Barbie on the legs. Handcuffs are then implemented in the match, so it's a very similar story to the Royal Rumble '99.
Yeah.
We all remember Cactus Jack, well, Mankind at the time, being put in the handcuffs by The Rock and blasted by a chair X amount of times.
Yeah, like 13
yeah, roughly. Yeah. Don't fact check that, fuck it. You know, and he's just absolutely going to fucking town on him. Yeah. And Triple H is all over him at this point. How he's standing is beyond me because of the punch wound in his leg, and it gets worse as the match goes on.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to that leg throughout the match, just the colours draining from it. It's just horrible.
So discolour his leg starting to do it purpley.
Yeah.
A bit off. He's quite lucky, really. You know, considering that.
Could have been a Texas tornado, couldn't he? Really?
There you go.
I want to say it's one of them though, when the blood been bleeding for that long, it starts coagulating and it stops bleeding, but it never seemed
some hot tag reviews.
It never seemed to stop it constantly. It was like, because he was on his feet, he was constantly but I love that. It's like, if you've got an injury, use it, it's there. Like, you can't fake not having it. So
falling over on her level of the lot, it was great. They end up in the aisleway, and out of nowhere The Rock turns up to Triple H with a chair.
Yeah.
Not Mankind, not Cactus Jack, who's obviously got handcuffs on, but he hits Triple H, and then a copper turns up and uncuffs Mick. What's just happened?
I'm going to say...
I'm alright with it.
I think Blue Jacket Dudley's come out the second intro.
Now he's a copper.
Yeah, now he's a copper, helping people.
That makes sense, actually, to be fair.
Was that a nod to the last year? Or is that well mentioned in the commentary?
I think that was them trying to say that The Rock is a different
He's a good
person.
guy. Yeah. Let's fucking forget about that Rumble 99.
That never happened. 12 months ago, he didn't nearly cave someone's fucking head. He was like, no, he's helping.
This is going to be our next champion. He's going to be our future star. Let's just forget about that. That never happened.
Never happened. No. Never. We then get a pole driver on the Spanish announce stable. The tax are finally introduced, and out comes Stephanie, who's like, "No, don't do it, no."
Then Jeff Hardy comes out.
And Jeff, "No, Stephanie, you can't be out here. It's dangerous."
Oh, he's a fucking voice.
Oh, it's great. So Tax come out, it's great, ain't it, really? So obviously Mick gets backdropped on him.
Yeah.
On the Tax. He's not taking a chokeslam this time, out of position.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that, it was the back bump, wasn't it? Yeah. Tim White's not directing traffic here.
No.
It's a backdrop, and that's the end of it. And fuck me, what
Which
a
is
backdrop!
it's a better bump as well. You know, it's more impactful. Probably hurt more, obviously. But,
It's got to off.
just the pure impact of just the hand time and just boom.
Yeah. Obviously feeds up for a pedigree and kicks out, and Triple H is fucking livid and surprised.
We've been through this match, and Triple H has even got the energy to kick off
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you've worked a match and you know, obviously you've been in the ring yourself, you know that obviously you need to conserve as much energy as you can.
Yeah.
Because like, you need to use it in the right places, don't you? But he's been through a fucking battle.
Right.
And he's still got enough energy to fucking show his emotion.
Yeah.
He could have just like looked at the ref and gone, oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Or
What
showed
do you mean?
Or showed it on his face like
Yeah.
shot. He got up, fucking went after
Fell over.
because of his leg.
Yeah.
Fucking shirted him on his knees, like Vince McMahon had screamed
Yeah.
he's leading to the, you know, the Rumble.
Now I have heard, so whether this is a fact or a myth, and the reason that Triple H did react the way he reacted is because actually this was a shoot on behalf of Mick. The thumbtack pedigree was never supposed to be the finish. It was just supposed to be that pedigree, and that was it. So back body drop, pedigree, 1, 2, 3. That was supposed to be the finish. Mick called an audible and was like, "Nah, pedigree me on the tacks." And obviously the crowd were hot. I thought it could have done with one more Foley nearfall at that point because how hot the crowd got to. Like they were Foley, and then he got pedigreed on the tacks.
But then I suppose you're playing with that crowd's emotions then, so you're hoping that Foley makes a comeback.
Yeah.
And that sort of like probably took that emotion away from the crowd, is to say like, we know you want Foley, but we're not always going to listen to what you want.
And they haven't been shy to do that with people like Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan in recent memory.
Yeah. I think it's a good call. If that is the truth, I think it's a good call. Because he didn't shoot on the pedigree, really. Not many people keep saying it's the pedigree. I think he used a pedigree before. It wasn't a proper finisher. And somebody's kicked out of it before.
Yeah, I think he was using again fact check guy. He was using diamond cutter. He was using an ice crusher.
That was his first finish, and it was just as dangerous as when he first started doing the pedigree, to be fair.
Oh, and that one guy fucking spikes it.
Yeah, it didn't make the pedigree look shit.
No.
At all. So, it worked.
Good finish then in the end.
Brilliant.
Good match.
Love.
Great match.
I'll say 5-star match.
5 stars. 5 stars?
Yeah,
we're all in agreement. This is a 5-star match. This is our second on Hot Tag Reviews. Make sure you go and check it out.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I think this was the point as well with Triple H, because, obviously next month they go into No Way Out in the Hell in a Cell match. And this to me was the moment it was like, Triple H has fucking arrived as the man. And Foley sold like a motherfucker. You could tell this was two guys who had the utmost respect for each other and wanted to make a statement.
Yeah.
And fuck me, did they ever make a statement with this match?
I mean, you saying that about Triple H, being, the man. And you've got to think the year 2000 is a strange year, really, as well. Triple H as a heel, over these 3 months, Royal Rumble, No Way Out, WrestleMania, went over on every single occasion for the WWF Championship. The first ever heel in history to walk away with the championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah. So I think that goes a long way.
I think Triple H gets a lot of stick about being in the position where they can get what he wants. If you look at the facts, the person who's lost the most WrestleMania matches is Triple H.
Yeah. Because you've put people over, innit? Nowadays.
Yeah, but people forget about that.
Yeah, of course they do.
He's lost more WrestleMania matches than anybody else.
What did you expect, Mart, after losing to the Ultimate Warrior in 30 seconds in your WrestleMania debut? That should be how his record is.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah.
So, Dave rates it 4.5 stars.
Fuck you, Dave.
He is a prick. We have rated it 5 stars. Fuck you, Dave, on this occasion. But it's now time for the Royal Rumble. But before that, we're back with Linda McMahon, as we mentioned. Obviously, a very different story. Let's just fuck that off. Linda was in WWF New York with Jonathan Coachman. There you go. Quite a promo about being the CEO. Fantastic. No one gives a fuck. Anyway, Howard Finkel gives the rules. You know, and he does a really good job of giving the rules, really. But his hand, he's doing this with his hand, and it's hilarious to me. I'm watching him, I'm going, I can't stop watching your hand, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're saying. You're saying something about both feet must touch the floor, and every 2 minutes or near 2 minutes, you know, and he's just going like this.
It was like his hand was possessed by that thing in the Evil Dead, though. It was just like,
Yeah.
to eliminate a guy, he must throw him over the top rope, and both feet must hit the... It was like that.
That's exactly how he sounded, really. So that popped me
What
a
an
bit.
impression, thank you very much.
Obviously, they show the video package of Shawn's win from '95, which is famously remembered as the 1 foot touch the floor. So we're being set up for the finish, in my opinion now, as we was in the tables match where JR was, you know, you've got to be thrown through the table. All right, JR, thanks, mate. Thanks for that. Oh, he's gone through a table? Yeah, don't count because he weren't thrown through, was he, mate? So, okay, number one. What can I say? So number one in my mind is a really prestigious spot, like now.
Yeah.
And I think back and I go, who's been number one, right? And who's done a really good job for number one? And probably most rumbles, you can probably say that. In this rumble, you can't. So number one is D'Lo Brown. To date, at this point in the year 2000, we've had one winner from number one. That was the video package. Shawn Michaels from 1995 in the shortest ever rumble as well. Only lasted around 40 minutes. They sent people out every 30 seconds at that time.
Mad.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Bushwhacker Luke didn't even get 4 seconds. Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
Number two, Grandmaster Sexay. So he's the bastard child of Jerry the King Lawler that we don't know about. But we talked about Brian Christopher and Scotty Twatty and Scott Taylor on the last show at the King of the Ring. So we've now seen their evolved form. It's like Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
And now we're at full Grandmaster Sexay, and it's great to watch. He's doing that laugh.
Yeah.
Everything about him is better. He's just a better presentation.
Yeah.
It's average to get us started. We're told that number 30 will be X-Pac, and that's it. So he's won a match to get that.
Yeah.
What did you make of these two first entrants?
Like, the way I look at it personally is like, if you're going to go in with people, like, go in with someone a bit more stature in the company, like not necessarily going your top guy, but going to people that are going to pop the crowd. Like, they're going to go in there even just for 60 seconds, get some entertainment, and I'm personally a massive mark for D'Lo Brown. I love D'Lo Brown, but just didn't work with these two. No. Personally, just did not work.
In hindsight, they should have started with Rikishi in one of the first.
Yeah.
Looking
back. Fair enough. And we'll come on to why with Rikishi, I guess. So, number 3, so this is the spot that Ric Flair won the World Wrestling Federation Championship in 1992. So went a long way. This time it's Headbanger Mosh, as The Rock called out as one of the big threats. And he has some big cones.
He did. He was a big threat. He had 2 big threats on his chest.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
What a gimmick.
What a gimmick. So not a spectacular entrant, but that's how it is. And this is Kai and Ty's first appearance of the night. They come out, quickly get ejected, and removed by the refs. They're just hilarious, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
Number 4, Christian. Weird as well to hear his singles music as well. Yeah, that was weird to hear. Like, cause he's like, you expect that. You think you know, like the tag music, but it wasn't. You're like, wait, did they fucking put the wrong song in? It was really weird to hear.
Maybe they did. But it does show that music was so much more over, because when Edge came out later on, big reaction really to that music.
Yeah, big pop for him. Big pop.
They run a nice spot with Mosh. Christian does. So I've talked about that earlier. Cut that out. That's when when I said, "Oh, you're making me talking about how many rumbles have been hosted." And
shit!
That's where I put it. You see, the format, but you fucked me. So, did I miss number 5? I think I have.
Okay, so someone comes in at that was redacted at number 5. Let's say fact check's happening right now.
I fucked my numbers up somehow. Number 5 is Rikishi. I'll put number 6 there. So,
you know, there's been 31 people.
I mean, he's straight to work, isn't he, Rikishi? He's straight at it.
Good pop as well.
Good pop. Eliminates Mosh. Eliminates someone else. I don't know what that says. It's not that person's name. It must be D-Lab. Look what it's auto-corrected. Exactly.
You eliminate Oi.
Can't you copy and paste up with the
Oh.
Yeah, if only. This is what happens when you make your own notes. So Rikishi goes on a bit of a fucking spree. Let's just put it that way, right? I've got these numbers wrong. So entrant number 6. So Grandmaster Sexay is left in the ring, right? So it's Rikishi, Grandmaster Sexay, the part of the stable Too Cool. Rikishi's eyeing him up like he's going to fuck him over. And entrance number 6 even is Scotty Too High. The other member of Too Cool, just in case you didn't know. And immediately he gives Rikishi his glasses. Okay, now if you don't know WWF 2000 at the time, when Rikishi put the glasses on, the music would hit and I would boogie. Right?
He was a nightmare with Specsavers. Same reason.
Scotty Twatty, he's working that crowd hard. And the Garden are fucking into it. They are stood on their feet, clapping to fuck. It's like there's a basketball game on something, a hockey game. That must be how they react at them sort of events. But this is the wrestling now, buddy. Literally. They are clapping to shit, aren't they? What did you make of this? I fucking loved it.
I remember the first time, obviously, like Rikishi had come in and before he was really Too Cool, and he was obviously like the big Samoan, like persona and all that sort of stuff, and he was mean and he was doing belly to bellies and all that sort of stuff. Well, this wasn't like visionary wise to see him dance and to see them all dance the way it was. It was just something different. It was new. It was fresh. So I think that got over like an absolute house on fire. Absolute house on fire.
It's brilliant.
And I'm going to say this as well, for a big guy, he can dance.
Yeah, he can dance.
He's legitimately got some good moves.
Follows me on Twitter, you know.
Oh, does it?
Just throwing that out there.
Fame to claim over here.
I've got an erection when I seen the notification the one day. Okay, she followed you on Twitter. He did it for the Rock of Aaron.
Is it really a road job?
Yeah, no, seriously.
I thought that was
good, just like...
You thought that was a good point?
Yeah. So it's not as funny now, hearing.
I'll take it. So anyway, Too Cool are now in the ring. They're popping the crowd. They're having a dance. Blah blah blah. It's great. Scotty does the worm. They feed round. It's a double clothesline. It's a fuck you. See you later. He eliminates the both of them. He's up to 6 people at this point. And he's dancing until the 10 count hits. And then it's your favourite man.
Fuck yes.
Steve, the Lethal Weapon.
Steve the Dog! Steve the Dog! Steve Blackman is a fucking bounty hunter nowadays.
No.
Seriously. There is actual TV. There is footage of him. You imagine Steve Blackman. Think of Steve Blackman.
I wouldn't skip quarters.
From 2000. He's fucking jacked.
Oh shit.
And he's not fucking about. He's coming in there, he's smacking you with weapons, he's martial artist.
Nah.
He's now a bounty hunter.
I'm tapping. If he walks in this room now, says, Rob, I've got a bait for you, I'm tapping. I'm like, you got me, buddy, you got me. How much do I owe? Who do I owe it to? Because you haven't got me.
Yeah, Steve Blackman is now a bounty hunter.
So
just
good to know.
Not really, not if you were...
He didn't help him in this situation because Rikishi makes quick work of him and sayonara, see you later, pal, on your bike.
Also, that finisher as well that Rikishi's using at the time, that Rikishi driver.
Rikishi driver, fantastic.
Looks brutal.
You know, for a big guy as well, his super kicks was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
spot on.
And you know, the next entrant being who it is, so it's Viscera, it's King Mabel, and as I said earlier, he's far away from being Viscera. Sorry, Mabel. You know,
I ain't on his finger.
I think I've shot to shit enough on Mabel, right?
Not enough. Give him a break.
No, I don't need to give him a break. He was shitty 95.
No, you shot on Mabel, you haven't shot on Viscera.
I'm going to shoot on Viscera. He's a good lad.
Viscera played his part really well and actually looked quite impressive.
Less is more.
Not a spinning wheel kick inside, that was good.
No, he did a massive belly to belly though, didn't he? And that was brutal.
Yeah.
Like, I thought Rikishi was going to get after that, to be honest. The impact of them two big stomachs.
If you think that's what, about like 800 pounds in one place.
How much does that go, man?
The spirit of art, though!
Anyway,
I've got a boom buns through my veins.
Literally, motherfucker fucks Rikishi up for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then for the next 30 seconds, Rikishi turns it round, super kicks him 3 times at least.
Yeah.
And then eliminates him. And see you later, Viscera. Rip. The next entrant turns out to be the veteran, the big boss man.
Oh.
Now, the big boss man doesn't bother getting in. Very, very clever. Or he's in, as we, sort of find out with the next entrant. So he waits out his 90 seconds, hoping for some help. Spoiler alert, he obviously knew who was coming out next. Turns out that it's Test. This is the Test.
Test.
Motley Crue Road.
Good old Andrew Martin, who gets an incredible pop, to be fair.
Pour one out for Andrew Martin.
Yeah, pour one out for Andrew Martin. I'm the big boss man for that.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
I've mentioned the big boss man before, because, he's been on as the Guardian Angel.
Love that gimmick. I was a big fan of Big Boss Man back in the day.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just fucking completely no selling like, fuck you, buddy.
Test is all over him, on the boss man on the outside. They go in the ring and then strangely Test attacks Rikishi. I'm just thinking to myself, what the fuck's he doing? Why is he? Why? He's
gone into Royal Rumble mode in his head, ain't he? That's what happened.
It's not the game, Mart. It's not SmackDown versus Raw. It's a scripted, real event with real people. He hasn't gone into Royal Rumble mode. He's just lost the fucking plot.
What do you mean?
Why is he eating Rikishi?
Because he's second man for himself.
I get that, right? But he's it. Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation, but can it? Barry Horowitz never won the World Wrestling Federation Championship, so I don't believe anything can happen.
Justice for Barry Horowitz.
John Moxley's the AEW champion. We found that one out today.
Never before in the sentence the two names Barry Horowitz and John Moxley ever been used in the same sentence as
well, they have now. The next entrance was the British Bulldog, our greatest ever hero from the United Kingdom. I think that's safe to say, right? No one's outclassed him yet, right?
No, I think definitely in WWE.
Stu Bennett did alright, didn't he? I love Stu Bennett. He's great on Beastmaster on Netflix, by the way. Check that out.
Yeah.
Good commentator in season 3 or season 1, the UK version.
I think the news thing we've got.
Spud.
Who?
Spud.
Great Maverick.
Yeah, Spud. Did he wrestle for a local company?
Yeah.
I think
Gornal.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, never heard.
In Baggage?
Yeah. Yeah.
He may have walked these floors, maybe.
At the Baggage?
Yeah. I think it might have been in the Baggage Dome.
Yeah.
Might have been.
That sounds about right.
I think the only person I can think of personally is Nick Aldis, the current NWA heavyweight champion. Like, I think there's a British wrestler. But again, marking me, so...
Do you think the NWA
Hey, Billy Corgan.
still holds its credit like it did back in the
He's a
day?
good wrestler.
Like in 1998, when Bo Dacious and Massive Bart turned up as the tag team champions with Dan Severn buckling like a bitch. Right? Let me tell you something, brother. The NWA was fucking dead then. What do you think it is now, especially now the Cornets come out as a fucking...
It's a fucking...
We'll leave it there, because it's open to interpretation. It's become a shoot. Sorry, Cornet. Sorry. If you didn't do anything wrong. If you did do anything wrong, go fuck yourself. Bulldog's out next anyway. The greatest UK wrestler to ever live. Yeah. Fuck you, Nick Aldis, you gladiator. Go back to Sky One. I love the Gladiators, especially even when they rebooted it.
Yeah.
I love shit like that. Fuck off. Anyway, from here, it is full of low blows. Like I said earlier, this Rumble, as the 92 Rumble, is full of low blows. Now, this Rumble will ever be known to me now as the Rumble of low blows. And when he comes in, Road Dogg, holding on to the bottom rope, hugging the bottom rope. Yeah. That's it. They're the two spots in this Rumble. Yeah. Fuck the finish. Fuck X-Pac trying to think he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. That's what this Rumble's known for in my mind.
Yeah. I think Road Dogg's done the proper indie Royal Rumble spot and just held on to the bottom rope and just watched everything that's happening.
We're just lazy. We just do that now.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I remember the other thing I remember this Rumble's coming up very soon.
Yeah. So it is coming up very soon, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Bulldog makes no impact whatsoever, and it's really surprising because he's been in a lot of Royal Rumbles.
Yeah, I can see he was in the package.
Yeah.
For the reason, when they showed you Shawn Michaels, he was one of the two who eliminated Shawn Michaels. Yeah. Went up to the top rope.
Yeah. Number 2 in that Rumble.
So he was part of this history in the memory.
And he was in the championship match back end of the previous year, wasn't it?
Oh my god, was he?
Yeah. No, was that the Hell in a Cell one? No, that was 2000, didn't it? 99, he was in the 6-pack challenge, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And here he is, fucking entrance number, I'll take a number off because I'll put it wrong, number 10. And no impact at all, it's just shit. It's quite disappointing really. So Gangrel's out next. Gangrel is quickly followed by Guy and Ty, who are once again dumped over the top rope. But this time is the time that Taka Michinoku takes that famous fucking bump.
Oh.
And is it Bossman's fault? Is it Gangrel's fault? Or, I'm going to say it's Taka's fault. So,
I'm going to say, because I just want to talk about something quickly before we get on to this. Gangrel's entrance.
Oh, he comes out with his red juice, doesn't he?
I'm going to say...
Wrong camera. I won't do it. But he comes out with his red juice. And he spits it and someone grabs his...
No, not even that. The thing I was getting to is he spits the blood, the red liquid if you're a new blood fan.
The raw beaver.
Yeah. The thing is, what do you do if you're wearing sunglasses and you've got a drink and you need to put your sunglasses somewhere? I know, I'll put it in my fucking drink.
That's what he did.
Yeah, and then straight away, it's like trying to look over to that. Tess just reaches over and reaches his fucking pop noodle head. He's like, oh, you fucker. But sorry, I had to mention that though.
Honestly, that's fantastic.
That popped me so
hard. It's
the
little things that you miss.
Yeah.
And that is the great thing about this. Now that we're re-watching these pay-per-views, or for the first time watching them, with me and a lot of WCWs we spoke about previously, we do notice these things. Yeah. We do pick up on the commentary, and because we're invested and we're in the business as such, we know what we're looking for, and it's great, isn't it? Yeah. So Edge is out next, and like I say, gets a really good reaction. He goes after the boss man. He's nearly eliminated by the Bulldog straight after that. Rikishi then hits a bonsai drop. Shout out to Yokozuna. Mm-hmm. Obviously the relation is there. Bob Backlund, he's next.
Oh, fucking duck arts.
So Bob Backlund gets a huge pop because he's a Madison Square Garden legend. Yeah. Fair to say, right?
Yeah.
He also dropped the belt in 8 seconds to Diesel in 1994, in Madison Square Garden. But the one thing at this point that Bob Backlund can hold is, so Ric Flair lasted 60 minutes or 60 minutes and X amount of seconds, close to 61 minutes in the 1992 Rumble to become the WWF champion. what did Bob Backlund do the following year? Lasted 61 minutes and 13 seconds to say, fuck you, Flair.
Class.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at this point, up to the year 2000 and beyond, really, Bob Backlund's got the longest reign in the Royal Rumble.
I think it's like, no, I actually think he legitimately. I think there might be, like, if I'm wrong, but I think there is someone that's near it.
So there's two that have beat him after this.
Oh, there's two after this?
Yes. Okay. But up until this point, he holds the record.
Oh, okay.
So I think the two that I'll quickly check with my stats, but I believe it's Chris Benoit and Rey Mysterio. No, Chris Benoit is actually underneath him. Jericho. So Jericho in 2017, 60 minutes 13 seconds.
Okay.
Benoit 61 minutes and 1 second, 2004. Bob Backlund 1993, 61 minutes and 15 seconds, not 13 seconds. And then Rey Mysterio, still to this day, holds the record, 62 minutes 12 seconds.
Wow.
It's a long time to be.
Gravity. He's just a prick for me. He's just gone, fuck you, Flair, because Flair beat Rick Martel's record. So Rick Martel was 55 minutes roughly, and then Flair beat that to win the championship. Then the next year, fucking Backlund, who, he ain't doing anything. No one gives a fuck about him, or what he's doing. No one gives a fuck about him in 94 or 95. Yeah. No one certainly gives a fuck about him in the year 2000. He's off politicking. Do you know what I mean? He's trying to be a politician in the New York area or some shit like that that JR says on commentary. Why is he up there? Oh, fuck him. Fuck him. Clearly he was in the politics backstage at Madison Square Garden. Fuck him.
Somebody in his pocket.
Do you think he
Bruno doesn't deserve the title. I deserve the title.
Do you think he politicked to go out looking like he just fucking the lost and found on PA?
He literally. He was wearing, Mark, you've got to put a picture up of this, but he was wearing a PA kit, wasn't he?
Yeah. It's like if you get to bring your PA kit to school, it's like, right, okay, go in the lost and found, there's no tops, you go in topless.
That's exactly how it was. Absolutely shocking. Rikishi's then eliminated by the 6 other people who were in the ring at the time. Then we get Chris Jericho, I think. I'm going to have to double check this now just in case I've missed an entrant. No, it is Chris Jericho. I don't know how the numbers are making sense now and that wasn't making sense before.
I think it's Kyle. It's all Kyle.
It must be Kyle that fucked me right over here.
And Kyle was a bitch to Taka.
Yes. So the funny thing about Taka Michinoku and Kyle for me is King on commentary. He's calling them Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He's called. And the Chinese are invading and so on and so forth. It's not, mate, it's the Japanese who are invading, aren't they?
Thing is, though,
it's not the first time either, is it?
No. The thing is, though, it's like, again, like what I said earlier for the women's bikini contest, whatever. It's the fact is, comments like that have aged so badly looking back on them. But again, if you're a kid, though, you sort of think, that's funny.
Yeah.
So no, I disagree. I find it funny now than I did before. because I know, like, I don't think, because I'm trying to like suss it out if he's meant it as like really uneducated, or he's meant it as like a backhand comment. Certain people will pick up, or hoping that a few people will pick up. I don't know how he played that, but if it was his gimmick and he didn't even really mean the I don't know what it was.
Thing is though, King always had heat with Taka Michinoku, like on
from the beginning.
Always had heat
from the beginning.
Like when he beat Brian Christopher for the heavyweight belt, he was constantly on Joss. I think literally until
I think
Taka
and the midget's got the most stick from Jerry the King Lawler, and I'm alright with it.
I like Taka though. Like
Taka's great. He shouldn't have Pearl Harbored the Rumble, but he did.
Yeah.
But you know why that is, don't you? Because Kyle were told that there were entrants in the Rumble, and then
there was a lot of confusion with this. So there was other people as well.
Of course, there was. There always is. But they got there and they were told, "Oh, actually, you're not needed tonight." For example, but I'll tell you what, we'll do this. you know, because they put people like Bob Backlund in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Take a spot, brother. Take a spot.
Yep.
Tucker deserved that spot.
Yeah.
Fucking did.
Crash Holly is next. The greatest hardcore champion in history, as I've said. You also said he's the
greatest super heavyweight.
It's very true. Carried them scales around for a reason.
Yep.
It's a bit weird here. Edge smacks his bum.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
I think because
Is he smacking his ass for?
I think because the fact his Crash is very small and he was trying to make him look like a baby, but that's all I got out of the spot. That way he fancied him. I don't know.
One of the two.
Like,
Bulldog ends up taking 2 low blows off Edge and the boss man pretty consecutively, to be fair. It's like Edge blows him, he sells it, he moves on. Boss man blows him. You know.
I mean, he's walking around and thinking, fuck you. Who's next?
He's thinking, yeah, pretty much. He's probably thinking, right, I'm going home.
I'm just going to fucking shut myself off.
So Chyna's out next. Obviously, she goes straight after Chris Jericho. This is her second appearance in a Royal Rumble. Also the second appearance for a woman in the Men's Royal Rumble. You know, famously now we have 2 Rumbles, one for women, one for men. Back then wasn't the case.
No.
Here we are. Chyna.
And this is why Chyna deserves a place in the Hall of Fame on a
Yeah,
roll.
definitely.
Not with the X, not a cover up.
Yeah, agreed. Chyna for HOF.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say, just forget what she did after she left the company. But other than that, like what she did in the company, I agree.
Look, we've all spent one night in Chyna or 2.
Yeah.
Really, you know.
Is that true, Sean?
Tried to get him on here, didn't we? Bastard.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. Anyway, your mate Sean, you met him as well, right?
Yeah.
So party with him.
I messaged Steve Blackman.
Did you?
Yeah.
But did you party with Sean?
No.
I heard that was a wild night of Warsaw. In the what's it called?
What, X-Pac when he come?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
I heard it was a wild night in the
Trough.
trough.
Oh, it's always a wild night in the trough and the
It's always a wild
when the
night
wrestlers
in the
go
trough.
up.
Definitely. Let me tell you something, brother. So Jericho gets eliminated by Chyna, funny enough, to keep that storyline alive. Bossman eliminates Chyna straight away. They argue outside, continuing the story. Farouk's next. The Main Street Posse come out and replace Kainside on this occasion.
Yeah.
And Farouk's eliminated.
He gas eats shit getting in the ropes. So did you spot this?
Yeah.
So as they're coming in, Pete Gas fucking just eats shit on the bottom rope. He basically clotheslines himself on the bottom rope before he gets
Really? I missed that.
Seriously, watch it again and
I'll
you'll
have to look.
spot it. And it's like, it's the funniest fucking
Yeah,
shit.
it's pretty horrible, to be fair.
funny.
Yeah, it's always funny to see a member of the Main Street Posse
Yeah.
get hurt. So,
Fucking mates of shame, man.
exactly, there you go. It's the only reason
Oh,
they're in the
privilege.
crunch for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Farouk ends up getting eliminated very, very quickly by the boss man. Road Dogg's in, and obviously this is now where the holding on to the bottom rope comes from.
Yeah.
And from this point, this is what the Rumble's known from. Low blows, Road Dogg holding on the bottom rope. It's a shit Rumble. It's alright, it's okay. Al Snow's out next, he's not Avatar, so that's good.
Hate that theme music.
He's not head either, he hasn't got the white top on, the job squad, he's just in a black singlet.
He's fuck all at this point.
He literally is a jobber, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. Al Snow's Wrestling Academy. Run by professionals. Pop in the boys, and that's what it's all about. Gimmicks. So Bulldog is quietly eliminated by Road Dogg. Like literally, considering the video package, considering the history of the Bulldog, he just fucking.
Yeah. So that was it.
I'm done. I can't breathe. I'm done.
Yeah, and that was the last time he ever appeared in the WWF. Like, I actually learned that recently.
Really?
Yeah. That was his final pay-per-view
Even
appearance.
to the thing with the Rock after, or was that before?
That was before the dog shit.
The dog shit.
The dog shit match. Fuck
Yeah, that was
When he first started.
Yeah, he do that with Al Snow, though, that kennel match, or no, it was Bossman.
that was Bossman.
Bossman.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Interesting.
Shocking.
Until he passed away, of course.
So, Bossman and Test at this point are the Iron Man in the Rumble. And it turns out that pretty much the Bossman gets that credit in this match.
I thought it was Test.
Yeah, that's right, actually. Just testing the fact checker. So Test does get the Iron Man match, and it's quite surprising, really, because he doesn't do fuck all after this.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything, does he? The Iron Man spot is normally, again, for someone who's going to progress. It's like the King of the Ring winner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he lasted 60 minutes in the Rumble. That must mean he's class.
Yeah.
Nope, not anymore. The Porn Star's out next. That'd be Val Venus. Test, honestly, at this point, I don't know if you clocked it, but everyone that comes out, Test is clocking it off with them straight away. Like, literally, Test is going for him. So, Test is the first person that everyone really interacts with. Very, very strange. I just thought Test had a problem with fucking everybody.
I think Test was just trying to get himself over by making himself...
Trying to write his own story.
It's probably because he knows the people who are coming in have got the camera time and to get in the ring, so if he can be in that shot every single time.
Yeah. This is the next time that Finoki comes in. We find out that Tucker has been taken to hospital.
What happened to Tucker?
He got a concussion, fucked. Yeah.
Did you catch what they said? I think they said this earlier in the night as well. Gone through it. He might have suffered a fractured ankle. It's like, motherfucker might have suffered with whiplash or death, and you want to claim a fractured ankle?
Fractured
Fuck
ankle.
off.
Triple H has probably got more of a fucking chance of a fractured ankle than anybody else on the card. Do you know what I mean? Fuck me. Prince Albert's out next. He's pretty wanky up until A-Train and Tensai. Like, I think he was wankers.
I liked him in TNA when him and Test. I was a big fan. I actually liked
TNA again?
No.
What were they called there then?
Test and Albert.
That's what I'm saying. So they weren't in TNA, was they?
No, they weren't in the company.
Clarify it for our viewers.
There was a company called Total Non-Stop Action. There was a tag team called Test and Albert.
But TNA.
But TNA for sure.
Who were managed by Trish Stratus that had a fine pair of tits and ass.
Yeah.
Which was the gimmick, wasn't it?
So realistically, it was the best TNA of the three.
It was. Shall we bother talking about the rest of the entrance? So Prince Albert comes out. Hardcore Holly's out next. Edge was eliminated by Val Venus. Al Snow with a back body drop. He goes out. Coach Matt Bloom looks pretty shit. Is what I've written here. Hardcore Holly's out next. Straight after Test, which JR actually calls out this time. JR's like, everybody seems to be going for Test. I'm like, JR, it's the other way around. Are you watching the same match as me? Like?
That's him just basically getting cussed out when you get backstage.
Yeah. Finally, after the build-up of, is The Rock next? Is The Rock next? The Rock says. All you hear on commentary for the last 10 entrants. And then eventually, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, finally, it's The Rock. The fucking building goes wild. He made his debut in this building at the Survivor Series in 1996 as the sole survivor in that match. And here he is in the Royal Rumble. He looks great, doesn't he? He looks good. Yeah. He makes one quick elimination. That's the boss man, the Iron Man of the Rumble. And then he just fucking settles down again.
Yeah.
It's dead weird. He doesn't make a big impact. I would have thought he would have come in, cleared a bit more, to be honest. Yeah. And he didn't.
They've got to stacked up the people and just give him a bit more people to eliminate to get it down to a level playing field then. But
they didn't, and this is what they did. So they sent the King of the Ring out next, Mr. Ass. Road Dogg absolutely blasts Hardcore Holly. I don't know if you've seen it, but he fucks him. Like, literally, in the face, down, done. Fucking see you later. Next minute, crashes being eliminated. So, clearly it was a ploy all along. Crash gets eliminated by The Rock. Next, the Big Show. So this is the big threat that we know about for The Rock, who eliminates Test and Gangrel within 10 seconds. So he's very quick when he gets in there. Test is the Iron Man now.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the boss man was at the time, along with Test. But after that, again, slows down.
Yeah.
That, you know, he doesn't go on a rampage, he doesn't carry on. He points at The Rock in the corner at one point. The Rock's just sitting there in the corner. Big Show walks over to him and goes, you shit, basically, and kicks him.
See, it's one though for me, like watching that Rumble, especially like when you've just had what 2 entrances ago?
Yeah.
And it was like, and the crowd goes mild.
Yeah, very, very
45
mild.
seconds. Same with Big Show. It's like, fuck me, someone do something. Big Show should have come in and just started wrecking people like over the top, Taka Michinoku, you know, all of them.
Yeah, everybody.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Bradshaw comes out next. Main Street Posse return. The Bradshaw basically fights back with the Main Street Posse, kicks them out the ring. But the New Age Outlaws eliminate Bradshaw to carry on the feud from obviously the Tag Team Championship match. 0 stars. Later on, Kane comes out. The lights go out. The big explosion. He's accompanied by Tori. Yeah. Val Venus is eliminated straight away by Kane, and then again settles down. So he gets one elimination, and it's like, alright. We know next year he goes on to eliminate 11 people.
Yeah.
It's madness to think that actually the big stars in this Rumble, which are these 3 really.
Yeah.
You know, Rikishi's been built to be something. X-Pac's in there, but
if you was to say main events, though, realistically, Big Show and Kane, and that was it.
Yeah, it's not the greatest Royal Rumble in history in terms of the people.
Yeah.
The Godfather's out next. He brings the Ho Train with him, and they go all the way around the ring.
One of the home fucking trips of new friends.
Yeah.
Kane eliminates Prince Albert as the Godfather, and the Ho Train go around. The New York crowd, you know, are hot on the Ho Train, as they should be. Finocchi turns up again. He gets fucked off again, and for the 3rd time in this match, they show the Taka Michinoku replay, which you know, it's well deserved to see. He's
still to this day as well. If you watch like any package they make of Royal Rumbles and elimination statistics, Taka Michinoku.
That and Paul London.
Yeah. I think Paul London came along and was like, don't think it's quite as impressive.
Yeah. X-Pac is finally the last man. Again, there's no impact on his entrance. It's all settled down. It's all the crowd's gone mild, as you know, we've said. And then, you know, we're left with a number of people. But finally they start to fly out. And we'll just skip to the final 4, which are X-Pac, Kane, Rock and the Big Show. Something's going on outside the ring, I think, with the New Age Outlaws. They pull out Kane and they're having a bit of a scrap. X-Pac gets chucked over the other side. He does a sneaky Stone Cold Steve Austin from 1997, gets back in. Doesn't really work out well for him, to be fair. X-Pac then eliminates Kane after Kane body slams the Big Show. The Big Show then takes a Bronco Buster, which he absolutely no-sells. And he fucks X-Pac off, doesn't he? See you later. I ain't messing around. You've just put your dick in my face.
Yeah.
I ain't selling it. I'm fucking 7 foot tall. I'm 500 £500. I'm the fucking man. Fuck you. See you later.
Yeah. I think the last few entrants and the last part of this Rumble it's a bit shambolic, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's at that point to expect it to turn up again.
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't.
once you got your last 4, that's actually model. You know,
that's what that Rumble's going to be remembered for. Is those last 4.
Yeah, and that's where you pick up. That's where you can win a few spots, pick up the crowd, and bring it up and down. But there's nothing there.
So the final 2 ends up being The Rock and the Big Show. We get the spine buster, we get the people's elbow.
Fucking spine buster.
Yeah.
It'd be good if Big Show would actually like fucking post him and actually bring his feet off.
Yeah.
One of the worst fucking spine busters The Rock's ever done, and that's not his fault.
And The Rock sells it like it's the best spine buster he's ever delivered in his life because of the size of the Big Show, right? The Rock actually delivers a better spine buster to the Big Show at the Raw 1000 before CM Punk cuts him off.
Yeah.
So he delivers the people's elbow, and you know it's all looking plain sailing. The Rock tries the old throw you out technique. The Big Show's like, what you do, mate? And obviously clocks him, gives him the choke slam, and then it's time for the finish. So what do you make of the finish, guys? Yeah.
See, looking back on it, I think it was celebrated as Rock won.
Yeah.
Hands down, there was no question of it. But just look at the footage. I mean, could you tell the difference to whose feet hit first, really?
So on the live one, obviously they do very clever. We're not switching to this camera.
Yeah.
And even on the replay, we're not switching to this camera.
Yeah, you got that
because
one angle.
we know what's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vince must be seeing that. And this is where I think Vince has called an audible. And, you know, the Rock is celebrating, so, you know, and controversial, absolutely. And I think, you know, Mike Chioda is, he's speaking to the Rock in quite a bit of detail, to be fair, before the Rock cuts a promo. So I'm clocking that as Vince has seen the replay. He knows there's no way they can show that, and they know there's no way they can get away with the Rock being the sole winner, hence why a storyline is developed on the back of it.
Yeah.
The Rock obviously cuts his promo, and the Big Show clocks him, and they have to stare off, don't they? Because the Big Show's like, I know what's fucking happened here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it.
I get the feeling, especially knowing what happens sort of by WrestleMania with the McMahon in every corner gimmick.
Yeah.
I feel that Rock was told he's going to win. Then they've decided to go, actually, you know what? Show's going over. So they both think they're going over. So I think as they do the spot, it's going to be like, oh, they both nearly touch me, like a Shawn Michael.
Okay, right.
That's how I think it's happened because, I mean, the next night on Raw, I mean, obviously it was clear. I know it was clearly The Rock who...
Yeah, touch first.
But if that was accidental, I like the way they worked it in.
Yeah, they definitely worked it into a storyline quite well.
But I don't. That sounds stupid, but I don't see it that way.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion.
I thought it was accidental. I think it shouldn't have worked. The same with Batista, John Cena gimmick. But obviously, Vince McMahon's at this point, obviously, the John Cena Batista Rumble, he's obviously had this experience with this Rock and Big Show, so he knows this can't fucking happen again. I'm going to go out there this time. But I think it was an accident.
Can't put McMahon in every corner of that WrestleMania, can I?
Exactly. You can't put both his legs in the ring without putting that both his support. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I think it was an accident, and like you said, I think they've seen that on the monitor. And whoever's in the trailer, calling the camera shots, whatever, he's told not to show that basically. And then they'll work a story around it. So like I said, they've worked in the Big Show being.
You mean Kevin Dunn?
Kevin Dunn?
Slip of the finger, Kevin Dunn.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's how it works in the four-way WrestleMania.
So the Rock wins. It all kicks off. Dave gives it 2.75. I'm going with 2.
1.5.
Okay.
1.5. So
yeah, that's fair. Oh, you know, I can agree with that. I'd like literally.
Rumble. It was 4 people if you include Rikishi.
That was
it.
Definitely. Yeah, true. I think when you look at some of the people like the Bossman put in a shift.
Yeah.
Bulldog was disappointing. You know, the people that you want to step up. Edge emerged a little bit for me because of the pop. Yeah. Viscera wasn't able, so that was good.
Jericho as well. Like,
Jericho,
to get some traction.
The two cool spot was nice.
Yeah.
Kane was not Kane of 2001. X-Pac, you know, disappointing.
That was a weak last entrance as well. That was weak.
But just fuck it, innit?
Stick with us, kid.
That's it, innit? And then we're done. We're finished. Okay. That is the 2000 Royal Rumble. That was Hot Tag Reviews. That was the Royal Rumble 2000, episode 4, probably in 2 parts. See you later. Goodbye.